Hello everyone, my name is Caleb Whitehead, but you may know me as C-Chizzle. And today I'm going to be talking about Monday Night Raw's 2025 Netflix debut on January 6th and Friday Night Smackdown of January 10th. I'll be your host. Welcome to the first episode of Chizzle's Championship Podcast.
Maybe one day we'll be okay, but I know that
If you're new here, which I'm sure you are, many of you are, probably all of you, if there are even any listeners. Here's my little introduction. I've been on and off of YouTube throughout the years. I've had this channel since I was a kid. So I've been on and off like 4 times. I used to make wrestling videos when I was a kid. I had my own little channel, a separate channel, and that garnered a bunch of subscribers for this channel. So it goes way back. And then I kind of gave up, got older. Then I started making videos again. And I was like, I really like this YouTube thing. But then it just didn't go anywhere because I gave up. Which I know you're not supposed to give up. You're supposed to keep going until you make it. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to give up. I wanted instant success. But that's not a thing. It's not a thing on YouTube. And now I'm not doing it for success. I just want to make videos, you know? So I quit making videos back then, and then I started doing music. I got real into music. Still got music videos up, not music videos, but like I have songs up still to this day. But back then I had a bunch of them, and I just go like, I'd get in these funks, and I'd be like, I'm just gonna delete everything. So I delete. So you know that happened a few times. Deleted all the music, deleted videos, came back to YouTube just like 2-3 years ago. I was like, I'm gonna actually do it this time. I got 3 videos in and was like, okay, I'm done. I'm giving up. Life started happening. Didn't really have time to make videos. But now I'm like, you know, I'm gonna do it this time. Like I want to. Like, I've always had this thing in me that's like, I want to do YouTube, I want to do videos, but I never really wanted to, like, I don't know. There was always that thing in me. It's always been like a passion brewing, but I never took it too seriously. But now it's to the point where it's like, I think this is what I want. So now I'm going to do it. Like, for real this time. If you're listening to this on Spotify, just take everything I said and apply it to Spotify. No, I've always wanted to do videos, and I feel like a podcast it's a great way to do videos without doing videos, you know? You're doing a 2-in-1. I love to talk. I love talking. Sometimes I talk too much. That might be a problem with this podcast. But, and the thing about wrestling, see, I stopped when I was a kid. That's when the wrestling phase of videos had to stop. Because as I got older, wrestling started getting a little less cool to the people, like friends and stuff. I was, you know, a lot of these videos were for my friends, and they kind of grew out of wrestling, but I kind of didn't. Like, everybody stopped watching wrestling, but I was still, you know, I'm still kind of into it. I kind of always, it had to be like a hidden, like a guilty pleasure to watch WWE. But then, now I'm 21 now. You know, I'm like, I'm not ashamed anymore. I think it's time to just embrace it. That's the thing. When I always knew I was going to come back to YouTube. I was like, I'm going to come back to the internet and make videos again one day. But the thing is, struggling to find out, what am I going to make videos about? Well, let's just take the thing I'm passionate about, you know? Who cares if people don't, you know, like, who cares if people think this is dumb? Because it's a niche. It's very much a niche. But that's what I'm passionate about. I always told myself, I can't do videos about wrestling because it's too much of a niche. But I'm like, if that's what I like, then I'm just gonna do it. It's a niche for a reason. Sorry if the audio is a little funky, by the way. There's a lot going on. I live in a condominium. It's, I'm sure the microphone's picking it up. Yeah, I just love wrestling. I'm a big fan. A little bit about the podcast, how this came about. I've always wanted to do a podcast. When I was a kid and I first learned what a podcast was, when I first learned about them, I was like, I need to do that. I love to talk. The tough part was setting up everything up, because I don't know nothing about podcasts. I don't know nothing about production, So I'm just going to try my best. I'm going to wing it, and I'm just going to have fun with it, If people don't watch, people don't listen, people don't like it, I don't care. I'm going to do it. I like talking, and it's fun. I'm going to have special guests. I'm gonna have people like special co-hosts, like one-time co-hosts, come in every week. Not every week, but on weeks where I can get someone to come on the show, I'm gonna take that opportunity. I have a few guests lined up right now. I don't know, past that. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but who needs a co-host? It makes conversations run smoother, and it'll probably be easier. Just y'all have to take this journey with me, because it's going to be a complicated one. It's going to be tough to set up. But hey, as long as it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to do the podcast. I'm excited. The original idea, okay, a little bit about me. I love the Mad Hatter. I think this is random. I'm rambling, I'm going all over the place. So this is what the podcast is going to be. So if you don't like ADHD, do not listen to this. Okay. Mad Hatter. I love the Mad Hatter. He's one of my favorite characters in fictional history, along with Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka and Mad Hatter. That's two things you need to know about me, because I will probably reference them a lot sometimes. Let's see. Where was I? Mad Hatter. I love Mad Hatter. And I love the way the Alice in Wonderland stuff. I just love it. I love Wonderland. Wonderland is such a cool thing. It's such a cool fictional world. I love that stuff. I was gonna call the podcast Tweedledum, but I was gonna spell it with WWE, like TWWEEDLE, dumb. I was gonna do that, but then I was like, but that doesn't make sense to someone who's not in my brain. Like, if you're just a casual person, you see that, you're like, what? Like, if you're just a random person who's coming to look for a wrestling podcast and you see Tweedledum in your wrestling podcast list, you're like, what does that mean? Why is it called that? That doesn't make sense. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I gotta change that a little, because that doesn't make sense. The original idea for the podcast was I was going to have me, and I was going to have, as the guest every week was going to be someone who doesn't watch wrestling and knows nothing about wrestling. And it was going to just be me sitting there explaining all the storylines every week, each week, everything that's going on, and just see what they get from it. I was going to get their input on what they think about wrestling after I describe what's going on to them. And I think that'd be a really fun idea. I think that'd just be explaining wrestling to a non-wrestling fan is a funny concept. And so because there's a disconnect, it's interesting to see that communication, just to see how that would be. And I wanted that to be the idea of the podcast, but then I started thinking, and I'm like, who other than me would really like that? Because I think that I would love that. If there was a podcast like that, I think I would be like, that's awesome. That's great. But, thinking on it, who would really care about that? That would just be for me. No, a wrestling podcast is for the people, not just for me, okay? So, sorry if you happen to be a wrestling fan and a Wonderland fan. I apologize, but that's not happening. anymore. I have another idea for a podcast, a horror movie podcast. And it's kind of like, I might do that with horror movies. I might do the little explaining horror movies to non-horror fans. That's another thing about me. Wrestling, horror movies, and reality TV. that is C-Chizzle. That is the three things that I care about. I'm a big movie, TV show guy. I'm a big movie nerd. I'm not pretentious with it, you know? I'm not a pretentious movie nerd. I'm a level-headed, I'm an open-minded. I don't pretend to be smarter than I am. I like what I like, and I don't like what I don't. You'll see on this, if you're following me on my YouTube channel, if you're subscribing, you will see a lot of videos about movies and shows. You'll see a lot of that. Also, I like ranking things. Ranking videos will be a big thing, whether it's tier lists, whether it's like best to worst, worst to best. You'll see a lot of that. You might even see that on this podcast. I'm just telling you, if you only listen to the podcast and you haven't subscribed, you're going to want to subscribe. But let's get into it. Let's get into the wrestling. Because this is already running longer. This intro is running longer. Here we go. So, Monday Night Raw debuted on Netflix with 4.9 million watchers to a wider audience, too. Like, this is going to be... The move to Netflix is smart. It's a smart move. You are getting... Like we talked about non-wrestling fans earlier, you're getting people who probably haven't watched wrestling since the 90s. They're going to be watching now. They're going to be like, alright, let me check it out. It's easy. It's free right here. It's available. Easy peasy. I'm going to get it. I'm going to watch it. And they watch it and they're like, okay, this is cool. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll be like, this is weird as hell. But hopefully they're like, this is cool. I like it. You don't understand how much I want this wrestling to go mainstream. I really want it to be mainstream again because I want to talk about it with people. I don't have many wrestling friends. I want wrestling friends. I used to have wrestling friends as a kid. They all grew up out of wrestling. They grew out. I want wrestling fan friends again. I want that. I want friends that enjoy the show. I don't have that right now. I want that. The show starts with The Rock. The Rock joining The Rock Johnson. He cuts a promo, you know. But he's a babyface this time. Last time we saw The Rock on WWE TV, he was beating Cody Rhodes with a belt. He was whipping him. He was joining Roman Reigns to fight Cody Rhodes. And now he's like, Cody Rhodes is the man. Make it make sense, because last time I checked, Rock, he was the man you were beating. And a lot of people want it to be The Rock versus Roman, because that's the match they've been setting up for years of build-up. It's right there on the table. It makes sense. I personally, I am a Cody crybaby. I would rather see The Rock versus Cody Rhodes, because it doesn't make sense to have him beat him with a belt and then never get his win back, or never have a match at least. There's no payoff. I want payoff to that. Roman versus Rock can come next time. I don't want that one yet. Let's build that. Let's let that one sizzle for another year. That's a hot take, but that's my take. I want The Rock versus Cody. But I don't think The Rock will be at Mania anymore. I did. Going into this Raw, I knew The Rock was going to show up. I didn't know he was going to show up and open the show. But I was like, okay, The Rock is going to challenge Cody at WrestleMania. But no. I don't even know if he'll be at WrestleMania. I don't know. There's rumors saying he won't. There's rumors saying he will. I don't know. And that was stressing me out to think about, because I really want The Rock at WrestleMania. But I don't think he will be, to be honest. I don't know what the plans with him are. I don't know what the plans with Roman are, or Cody. I don't know. Later on SmackDown, I will go over this later, but Roman confirmed that he declares for the Royal Rumble. What's his direction? If he loses the Rumble, who's he going to fight at WrestleMania? Who is Cody Rhodes going to face at WrestleMania? I don't know. Is The Rock going to face anyone at WrestleMania? Mania plans, it's too early to tell, but they have not set up a lot so far, and I'm very curious of what is the direction that's going to be taken. But so The Rock is good with everyone now. He's hugging Roman. He's high-fiving Cody, whatever, handshaking. I understand it. We're on Netflix, a wider audience, like I said. He's Maui. He was Maui in Moana 2 and Moana 1. Okay? You think they're having him come out and cutting a heel promo? No, they don't. The fans over at Netflix, they don't want that. They don't want that. They're not gonna. No. It makes sense. I didn't expect it, but it totally makes sense in the grand scheme. They're obviously The Rock. They're gonna have The Rock come out and, cut a promo for the kids or whatnot. It's whatever. I don't know. The first match of the night was Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa, Tribal Combat. It was for the Ula Fala, the title of the Tribal Chief. Acknowledge him, okay? The match was good. It was the best match of the card, in my opinion. I said it. There was obvious bloodline interference, Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu. Tonga Loa wasn't there. He broke his toe or something. Tonga Loa broke his toe. Wait, no, that was his ankle. Jimmy Uso broke his toe, but he's okay now. I don't know. Someone broke something. Tonga Loa's injured, so he wasn't involved. Jimmy and Sami Zayn. Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn come out to save the day. We expected that. Sami Uso. Jay wasn't with him because he's kind of breaking away from the bloodline stuff. He's off doing his own thing. He'll be in a match later tonight against Drew McIntyre. We'll talk more on that later when we get there. Kevin Owens, this one popped me. I was like, whoa, Kevin Owens, he attacks Roman Reigns. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect there was the near fall. I thought, oh man, the match is over. But Kevin Owens, he attacks Roman Reigns. I was like, just genuinely like, whoa, I didn't expect that. It was shocking. Good stuff, good stuff. Makes sense, Kevin Owens is mad at Cody Rhodes for teaming with Roman. Makes sense. Then Roman, he's attacked by Kevin, so Cody comes out, obviously, because Cody and Kevin are feuding. They're going to face each other and at the Royal Rumble. I'm excited for that. This match was amazing. It was a really good match. Roman won, obviously. Solo had one good near fall where I was like, oh, I think Solo might just win. I was shocked. It was when he, they hit their finishers and then he went for the spike. He hit the spike, he got him. And then he kicked out. Roman kicked out. But he ended up winning, and so good on him. That's awesome. A really good match. Really amazing match. Then The Rock hugs him, gives him the Ula Fala at the end. He hugs him. Like that, And that's how you hug. And The Rock, I kind of, there's something in me. I was like, he's going to hit him with a rock bottom. He did not. He did not. That's okay. Netflix. Maybe one day. Maybe we'll warm up to it. I don't know. We'll see. No rock bottom, just a hug. They teased Penta. They teased Penta from AEW. They teased him coming in. They said Chad Gable is going to challenge a luchador. He challenges a luchador. Give me a mystery luchador. It's going to be Penta. We know. We already know. What's funny is that it was this night. They were going to have Rey Mysterio and a mystery partner who was supposed to be Penta versus Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the New Day. But Twitter was like, yo, sticking Penta with the LWO, that's not right. That's kind of weird. And so Triple H, I feel he was Twitter lurking, and he was like, good idea, I better not do that. So he instead moves that match to next week, the Ray versus the, and it's going to be Ray and Dragon Lee, which should have been the move anyway. Ray and Dragon Lee will face Kofi and Xavier next week. That'll be fun. And Penta versus Gable. We don't know it's Penta yet, but we know it's Penta. It's going to be Gable versus Penta. They're also doing Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Yay. We don't need that again. Their last match, the feud should have ended at Bad Blood. I was there, by the way, at Bad Blood. The feud should have ended there. They don't need that. It's a whole thing. Damian Priest is feuding with the Judgment Day still. The War Raiders are a part of it too. I don't know. Man, I don't know. They're fighting next week. Whatever. Sheamus is going to face Ludwig Kaiser. That's good. That's going to be a good one. They both were involved in the Intercontinental Championship Triple Threat with Braun Breaker at Survivor Series. That was good. I think the direction we're setting up is Sheamus versus Braun Breaker. I think that's where we're going at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship, I think. And, of course, that would lead to Sheamus winning the... He's never won the Intercontinental Championship. It's the only one he's never won. He wants to win it. I think it happens at Mania. It only makes sense. Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. That's happening next week. I'm excited for that one. That's going to be good. I think... And I'm rooting for Lyra Valkyria. I don't know how to say the name. I'm sorry. Valkyria, whatever. I'm rooting for her, but I have a strong feeling that Dakota Kai is going to take it. It makes sense for Dakota Kai to win because, she's in a feud with the Pure Fusion Collective, and that's 3 challengers right there. Just go ahead and set it up, whatever. Just keep them busy for a while. That's going to be a good one. I do want Lyra to win, though. She's pretty over. And Dakota Kai is a tag team wrestler at the moment with Damage Control. So, I think it makes more sense for Lyra to take it. But Twitter seems to want Dakota Kai to win. So, I think that, that may happen. Talking more about the women's division, only one women's match on the card tonight on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. That's kind of weird, not really representing the women too well, too strong on Netflix. You'd think going to a wider audience, they would want to represent women more, but, that's alright. Whatever. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, another feud that is still going for some reason. I don't know. They've had like 5 matches, dude. Enough. They fought at like Crown Jewel or something. I don't remember. They're one of those Saudi Arabian shows. They fought there, I believe. I may be wrong about that, but they fought once, okay? Then fought at SummerSlam, okay? Then fought at Bad Blood, okay? They probably had another match somewhere in between those. Okay. And then this one. Great. Do it again at Mania. They probably will. I'm getting sick of the Rhea versus Liv. It needs to end. I hope this is the last chapter. I'm really hoping so. Rhea wins. You don't need a fortune teller to see that one coming. Raquel Rodriguez and Dirty Dom. They were at ringside, obviously. They get involved a couple times. Rhea wins. It was an okay match. It was cool. I'm just really hoping the rivalry between these two is over. It's gone on for a little too long. Nothing special. It had some cool little spots, I like when She went for the Oblivion, but Rhea caught her, slammed her down. That was fun. And then, yeah, but Rockwell got involved, and Dom. They tried their heel tactics. It didn't work. The Liv, I don't know. Dirty Dom at the very end of the match, Dom went up to Rhea and was like, "Hey, it's okay. Hey, be my mommy again." She low blowed him. I don't know what I'm thinking that concludes their story. I'm not sure where Rhea Ripley moves forward from here, and I'm not sure even where Liv and Dom go. I mean, they're a part of the Judgment Day, so I'm assuming they'll have stakes on the Finn Balor versus Damian next week. I'm assuming they'll be involved. I don't know. At the end, The Undertaker came out, why? We didn't need that. It's kind of weird, kind of silly. But that brings me to my next topic. Undertaker got cheered. Hulk Hogan came out to cut a little happy Netflix promo. They booed his bottom out the building, and it was so good. It was so great. I loved it. Watching that man. Poor Jimmy Hart, though. He's like waving an American flag. Woo! And it's like, they're booing you. They're booing you so bad. And here's the thing. People, I don't know whether it's political or not. They're in California, a very liberal state. Hogan is a very, he's a Trumpster. But here's the point of what I'm saying with the politics. The Undertaker, they love him. They love him. He had Trump on his podcast. He had him sitting there talking. He loves Donald Trump. They cheered him. California, they cheered him. They loved him. They didn't boo Hulk Hogan because he's a Trump supporter. They booed Hulk Hogan because he's not a good guy. And I hope... I'm really hoping they don't bring him to Saturday night's main event, because the same thing's probably gonna happen. I really hope so. I read from sources that they do want to bring him in more. They want to keep bringing him in for stuff. Please don't. I'm asking on behalf of the world. Please don't. Not many people that go to these shows like him, obviously. Not many people on the internet like him, obviously. Stop. Just stop him. Just stop it with him. He's not a fixture that needs to be on TV. Not right now. Not ever. Again, probably. He ran his course in the 90s. He's running his course before it even starts here in 2025. That's awesome. Hulk Hogan in 2025 is funny. I read that they might want to start bringing him in on as a heel. The silence speaks for itself. I didn't like how little Gunther, Braun Breaker, and Logan Paul were on the show. I didn't like how little they were featured. It didn't make sense to me because two of them are your current Raw champions and they're barely on the show. They were sitting at like ringside, like in the crowd. I don't like Logan Paul, but he's a big Netflix draw, I feel. I am surprised that they didn't have Logan Paul at least, come in and do something. I'll talk more about Logan Paul later when I get a John Cena segment, because I really thought John Cena was going to be interrupted by Logan Paul. But I'll talk about John Cena's segment in a moment. First, I want to talk about where the heck was the Wyatt Six, okay? Like I said, I'm a big horror movie fan. Netflix is the perfect place to bring in the Wyatt Six because they have a lot of horror movies to stream. Bring in your most horror-related gimmick. This is a hot take because a lot of people think they're not being used well, but I think that the Wyatt Six is currently my favorite thing going on in the WWE right now because of the fact that I'm a huge horror fan and I love their presentation so far. It's great. But I was totally expecting the Netflix movie streaming place to bring on the horror movie gimmick. In the first episode of Netflix Raw. Didn't have nothing. Karrion Kross, his Karrion Kross's Final Testament, they're feuding with the Wyatt Six. That's two, like, spooky guy gimmicks. What are you doing, Netflix? Where were they? They better show up next week. They better have a segment or something. That's ridiculous. You are a big wasted opportunity there, but whatever. I guess there's no room on the show. I don't know. I love Karrion Kross's gimmick too. A lot of people in ring, you know, but I think that comes down to the booking. He's not booked to look like a big threat in the company, but his gimmick of like getting in people's ears and making them turn, like shift, like changing their personalities, such a good gimmick. It's so lovely. Mwah. But, like, the booking, man, is something. Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. That was fun. I like Drew McIntyre's anti-bloodline gimmick. I think it's cool. I like it. It's one of my favorite things going on. I'm sorry if you hear noises in the background. My dogs are walking around, and now she's chomping on her food. Thanks. Perfect timing. I wanted Drew to win this match, man. I really did. I don't know what we're doing with Drew now because where does he go from here? He just lost to Jey Uso. Jey Uso came to the ring with Travis Scott, and it was incredible, and I love it. Travis Scott was sitting there smoking the blunt. I thought it was great. I want more Travis Scott smoking on WWE TV. Silly. Jey Uso, he kind of looked like a star here. He looked like a star. I get why we booked him to win. It makes sense. It's Netflix. Travis Scott came out with him. He wasn't losing when Travis Scott was coming out with him. I mean, it's Netflix. Jey Uso looks like a star. He's presented like a star. It's great. Even though he won with a roll-up crucifix pin, whatever. Jey Uso, no heels won on this was basically a WrestleMania house show. A WrestleMania caliber house show. No heels were gonna win. Surprised we even got a new champion out of it. You know, Rhea Ripley winning the Women's World Championship. You know, good on her. Yeah, Jey Uso, it was a given that he'd win, but I think that Drew McIntyre should have won just to advance his story and his status. A lot of changes happened that were originally scheduled, like a couple matches got removed. The Ray and Penta versus New Day got moved up a week. Becky Lynch was supposed to come out and have a segment with Rhea Ripley instead of whatever The Undertaker did. That was supposed to be Becky Lynch coming out. Instead, it's The Undertaker. Cool stuff, I guess. I like Undertaker more than Becky Lynch, so that's cool. I do think we get Becky Lynch in the Royal Rumble. Yeah. I will have probably a video and a podcast episode about my Royal Rumble predictions. I'm excited for the Rumble. I'll get more into the Rumble excitement later. Steve Austin was supposed to be there instead of Hulk Hogan. That should have happened. They couldn't agree on something. I don't know. Steve Austin should have been there. Hulk Hogan shouldn't have. That's the end of that one. Tons of celebrities were in the attendance this night. Great stuff. For some reason, Macaulay Culkin got a really big, huge pop. I don't know why the fans went crazy for Macaulay Culkin, but they sure dang did, and it was great. It was cool. Seth Green was sitting right next to him. Awesome. A lot of legends in the arena. A lot of former WWE wrestlers. Nikki Bella was there. I didn't know she was. This is a surprise. She's on good terms with WWE now. I heard Kieran Culkin was there, but I didn't see him. Vanessa Hudgens, she's like at every show. Not a big surprise that she'd be at the Netflix one. Michael Che, he was in an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal one year. Topanga Lawrence and Will Friedle. You know, the Eric and Topanga. Her name's Danielle Fishel. Don't let me fool you. Ashton Kutcher was there. Gabriel Iglesias. I just watched Butterfly Effect the other night, too. Tiffany Haddish, Wale, Blast, Lil Rel Howery, Cleo Thomas, O'Shea Jackson. You should come on the podcast, bud. I'm just joking. I'm not that famous. Gina Views, Jordan the Stallion, Keegan Michael Key, Jay Worth, Karen Civil, and David Arquette. They were all there. They're all in attendance. How nice. John Cena declares for his final Royal Rumble match on his retirement tour. I'm very excited. I thought he'd be interrupted by Logan Paul. He wasn't. Don't know why Logan Paul wasn't used. But I'm about to ramble about a topic because it holds near and dear to my heart, and it is the greatest thing in not even WWE history, in mankind history. And I'm not talking about Mick Foley. My favorite thing in the world, better than Christmas, better than any holiday, better than anything in my life, in my whole world. The Royal Rumble is the greatest thing to ever exist. I love it. It is my favorite thing in the world. Give me all of Royal Rumble. Give me more. Give me more. I love Royal Rumble. It's the greatest. It's my favorite thing. My favorite WWE thing. My favorite wrestling thing. My favorite thing in the world. Royal Rumble is the most important thing to me. It's crazy. I'm obsessed with the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble grew into a love of the count of elimination, which grew into the process of elimination, which grew into loving ranking things, which grew into why I'm doing this YouTube channel, which grew into why I'm doing a podcast, which grew into why I'm on Spotify, which grew into why I make music, every aspect of my life can trace back to the Royal Rumble because I love the Royal Rumble. It's amazing. Listen, it holds sentimental value. The first WWE show I ever got to let my parents ever let me purchase for me was Royal Rumble 2012. So the 2012 Rumble, one of my favorites just because of sentimental value, and I love the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is what got me into wrestling, pro wrestling. I had the video game, the 1993 video game WWF Royal Rumble, and I loved it. It was my favorite thing. And I was like, and I got old enough to where I was like, so this game is based off of real things, you say? This is based off a thing called wrestling, eh? So, I went to YouTube, my little 8-year-old self, probably younger than 8, probably 6. Went to the family computer, looked up WWF Royal Rumble. And boy, did I learn something that I never thought I knew. I don't know. Listen, I'm obsessed with the Royal Rumble. It's my favorite thing. Every year I get so hyped. I get so excited. Every year. What's funny though is that sometimes they don't live up to the hype. That's the bummer. That's the lame part of it all. I love the Royal Rumble. I can't wait for the Royal Rumble. I'm going to have a Royal Rumble party. I can't wait. I love the Royal Rumble. I love making my predictions. I love it all. I love it. Everything about Royal Rumble is so... The coming out in intervals, starting off, intervals. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Over the top rope. I love it. I love Battle Royals because of the Royal Rumble. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Royal Rumble's coming up and it's 3 weeks away and it's great. Anyway. John Cena's going to be in it. That's awesome. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins was the main event, and these two go back. They go way back. They don't like each other. They fight. Yeah. SummerSlam, this was set up when they did CM Punk versus Drew. Seth was a special guest because Seth didn't like either one of them. Seth was angry when CM Punk came back at Survivor Series a year ago. Like, this is awesome. Here's a fun fact. I went to every single CM Punk match except for the Saudi Arabia one last year, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that is a true fact because I went to the Royal Rumble, I went to SummerSlam, and I went to Bad Blood. I didn't go to Survivor Series. So that's 5 matches he had, and I went to 3 of them. I will not be keeping up with that tradition, unfortunately. That sucks. CM Punk, it's a worthy main event. It was a good match. They both have reason not to like each other. A great rivalry. It should have been. It's been built up forever. I do think that it should have been built up to this Raw on Netflix. I think that should have been built up better because they didn't really have enough time to let that cook because they only 2 weeks ago confirmed it was happening on the Netflix Raw debut. I kind of wish that built up a little further, and the built up's been good. I can't complain. I don't know. Punk won, obviously. Punk, he's not losing. It's silly to think he'd lose that. After the match, CM Punk declared for the Royal Rumble on the post show in a pretty good little promo. He called out a bunch of people. It was cool. Jey Uso also declared on the post show that he will enter the Royal Rumble. So far, that lineup is looking pretty good. You got LA Knight. Yeah. You got CM Punk. You got John Cena. You got Jey Uso. So that's pretty cool. I didn't watch NXT New Year's Evil. I know The Rock was there, and the triple threat was supposedly pretty good at the end. But I heard that Eddie Thorpe wasn't in it that much. I'm not a big Eddie Thorpe fan. I'll talk more about that probably on a week that I do watch NXT because I didn't watch it this week. I'll talk more about my feelings on NXT throughout the you'll see. If you watch the podcast, you'll hear them here and there. I'm not going to talk much about NXT, but I'll here and there. We got new NXT champions. I couldn't catch New Year's Evil, unfortunately, but I did see the new champions, Julia and Obafemi. I am a big Obafemi fan. I love Obafemi. He's great. He's fantastic. And he's probably my favorite of the NXT roster. He's probably the majority of people's favorites on the NXT roster. He's a great fit for champion. Great fit to beat Trick Williams, who I do think will be called up soon, if not even in the Royal Rumble. Obafemi, great, good choice making him champion. Do think he should have been double champion. Not to knock Tony D. I love Tony D'Angelo. He's one of my favorites as well. I'll talk more about that next week. But I love me some Obafemi. Give me more Obafemi. Can't wait for the next 2 years because I know he'll be called up eventually. Malachi Black over in AEW. His contract is expiring and will probably most likely end up back in WWE. I can't wait. That'll be good. Put him on Netflix. Have him battle the Wyatt Six. I want it. Give it all to me. Okay. That's good. That's happening. Vince McMahon's trying to start up a new little. He wants to form a roster. He's looking to get back in the wrestling business, and that's not good. Keep him far away. Assuming he's probably going to try to start another company because he can't get back into WWE. Graves was pulled from commentary on the main roster. I'm hearing that he's probably going to NXT. I think that's just interesting because he's been there for a long time. Like, good 5 years. Probably more than that, 7. Something like that. But yeah, he's getting pulled. They're putting Joe and Wade on SmackDown and Corey and Pat on Raw on Netflix. Makes sense for Pat McAfee to be on Netflix, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Him and Cole have a fun dynamic, but he's not an amazing commentator. He's not that great on commentary. AEW has they having a lot of little free agents going on, you know. Ricky Starks' contract is probably going to expire soon, I'm hearing. I doubt he'll resign. Ray Phoenix, I mean, it's going to happen eventually. Penta, he's over here now at WWE. I'm sure Ray Phoenix, his time's probably, you know, he'll join his brother soon, I feel. Sooner rather than later, but Edge changed his name to Cope. That's weird. Adam Copeland. I don't watch AEW. I used to. I was a big fan until the pandemic. Once the pandemic happened, everything fell apart. I don't watch AEW no more. I really loved it before COVID-19, before the pandemic. Everything. It was, honestly, I liked it better than WWE at the time. Because 2019 was a bad year for WWE. But ever since the pandemic, I kind of dropped both companies for a little bit. I kept up with WWE a little bit, but they were making some real bad decisions. And then I got back into it after the pandemic, and you know, which probably was a mistake because I went to Royal Rumble 2022, and that was like god awful. And it was my first Royal Rumble, and I already told you how much I love the Royal Rumble. So I was like that was the most exciting thing in my life. And then Brock Lesnar wins. Anyway, time to talk about a little bit about SmackDown, Friday Night Smackdown. It opened with Paul Heyman talking to Cody Rhodes. He tells him that Roman wants his title back, and he declares Roman Reigns for the Royal Rumble. That's awesome. If you don't know about Roman Reigns' Royal Rumble track record, it's pretty dang good. He was in Final 2. He won Final 3. Final 2 again. Final 2 again. Skip. Final 2 again. That's it. 7 Rumbles and every time made it to at least the top 3. Pretty great stuff for him. But this was back at a time where people didn't like him. The big dog era. So things have changed. Times are different. I don't know what direction he goes. I have a strong feeling there's a chance he could win the Rumble. Because I don't really know what direction he goes if he loses. Do we get Roman versus Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what plans are for Roman or Cody. I've already discussed that. But Kevin Owens comes out, makes some great points against Cody Rhodes, because, you know, Cody Rhodes, he joined Roman Reigns, which totally blindsides Kevin Owens. Kevin is mad at Cody. They brawl a little bit. They hype up their ladder match at the Royal Rumble. I can't wait for that. The thing about that is we already know Cody's winning. Spoiler alert. We know Cody's winning. But, like, I can't wait to see how it ends. Like, what's the ending? Is Randy Orton going to cause Kevin for Cody to win? I'm excited to find out how does Cody end up climbing that ladder and winning. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. I know Cody's winning. I know the end, but I'm excited to see how we get to the end. Okay? I'm excited for that match. It's a ladder match. I'm excited. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga surround Paul Heyman at one point, and then Jimmy Uso comes out to stop the bloodline. They attack him, basically murder him. I mean, like, let's be real. And then Jacob Fatu's like knocking production all out. I love when production gets involved and gets attacked. I love it. But Jacob Fatu's messing them up, man. He's going to town. It's great. Cody saves the day. He's back. Yeah, good stuff. Good opening segment. Then next, Chelsea Green faces Women's United States Championship rematch. You know, it's her rematch. It's Michin. She gets a rematch because I guess the feud keeps going. Cool. I'm not sure if they'll do a third match at Saturday Night's main event. I kind of feel like they might. I don't necessarily need it, but I could see it happening. They kind of teased it being an ongoing feud for some reason. Michin's going 0 for 3 in her trilogy against Chelsea Green. They might as well. I don't know. Actually, it's 0 for 2, but whatever. No. Actually, she beat me. She beat Chelsea Green in a dumpster match. So, whatever. Michin she needs to stop twerking because my girlfriend don't like watching. She's not gonna like it if I'm watching that. She don't want me watching other women twerking, probably. The match was whatever. Piper, you know, she got involved, which led Michin to losing. And then at the end, Piper hits her, flattens her. A little senton. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the feud's going to be ongoing. Piper hit her at the end. I don't know. Maybe we'll see another match between Chelsea and Michin. I don't know. Michin, Mia Yim. I don't like that the women's mid-card championships are named the same as the men's, just with the word women's in front of it. I think that they should have their own championships. I don't think we should have a women's Intercontinental or a women's United States. Just give them, like, their own thing, like the women's, like, just call, like, bring back the European Championship and just have it be the women's divisions. Or international, or the television championship, and it can be just the women's, like, or just make up a new one, just make up a brand new one, the women's global fury, I don't know. Just, they don't need, you know, I don't know, they don't need just women's US, women's, it's lazy, it's just lazy. But I guess some people would say better lazy than dumb, so. There's a segment with the tag teams, the division. It involves A-Town Down Under, Pretty Deadly, Los Garza, a.k.a. Legado del Fantasma. I don't know, something like that. Motor City Machine Guns. Thanks to Nick Aldis, he sets up 2 matches between these teams, blah, yada, yada, yada. I love Nick Aldis. I think he's an excellent authority figure. I think he's great. I love it. So they do Los Garza versus Pretty Deadly first, and both teams are heel. I don't know if Los Garza are supposed to be heels or if they're like face now. They use heel tactics to win, but then they're like, we saved you, Motor City Machine Guns. Come on. So I don't know. Are they good? I don't know. I don't really know. Also, follow-up question, why is Apollo Crews even in a part of this little thing? I don't know. He's in backstage segments with Pretty Deadly. Why? What? I don't know. Why? He kind of just is randomly just there. Like, cool, I guess. It's good that he's involved in TV time, but this isn't really the angle or the storyline that I feel like he's really needed in. Anyway, I thought Pretty Deadly was going to win, but Los Garza, I was rooting for Los Garza, and they ended up winning. That was cool. Both of these teams deserve a push, though. Especially Los Garza. Please, give them something. Give them something, please. It was an okay match. Shinsuke versus LA Knight. Shinsuke Nakamura. The United States Championship match. Shinsuke's presentation was really cool, really dope. He looks great, looks amazing. I love it. people did not like this match online. They didn't like it. Said it was bad. It was sloppy. But I didn't mind it. Like, yeah, it wasn't great, but it was all right. Both had good offense. Earlier in the night, LA Knight, he said he pushed Jacob Fatu out of the arena and said, "Hey, I couldn't use his inside out, so I put his ass outside. Hey, yeah." Something like that, how he does. That led to, obviously, the bloodline cost LA Knight the match. They attack him. They practically murder him. Brutally. Okay. LA Knight technically won, though. He had a disqualification finish. He won. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe he'll get a rematch. Maybe at Saturday night's main event. Or maybe even better at the Royal Rumble. But actually, let's put on a good match this time. Yeah, that's fun, man. I love Jacob Fatu. I really want Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. I really want that. That's great. I love it. Good stuff. Cody and Jimmy Uso, they come out to... Yeah, Cody Rhodey and Jiminy Uso, they come out to set up the main event, saving LA Knight. LA Knight with the bloodline, that's a weird feud, but I'm into it. We might get Cody Rhodey, Jiminy Uso, and LA Knight versus the bloodline. The new bloodline. Shinsuke needs more challengers for this title reign, I think. He needs more challengers. Because so far all he has is Andrade and LA Knight. He's beat Andrade twice and LA Knight twice. Well, 1.5. He's still a champion, but he didn't win. He needs more challengers. Yeah, so Cody Rhodey and Jiminy Uso are going to face Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu tonight in the main event, Solo Sikoa, they say he'll return next week. Oh boy, I'm scared. None of the matches have really been that great so far up to this point. Motor City Machine Guns face A-Town Down Under. This was the best match of the whole night for me. The Motor City Machine Guns, they're just excellent. They are the best tag team in the entire division, I feel. I really want them to get another match against DIY for them tag team championships. I'm kind of hoping at either Saturday night's main event or Royal Rumble we get a big multi-team match. Like we get Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, Los Garza, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns. Throw them all into one just have a little fatal five-way, for the tag team titles. That'd be great. Still waiting on that Austin Theory face turn. What happened to that? A-Town Down Under, they're supposed to split. Grayson Waller was for almost a year, probably more than a year, has been teased to be, mistrust in Grayson Waller, and where's that? Where'd that go? Did we forget about that? I think they dropped it. I really wanted to come back. We're at the road to WrestleMania starting at Rumble. I want that match. I want Waller versus Theory at WrestleMania. I mean, come on. What are we doing? Set that stuff back up. They dropped it. They need to pick it up closer to WrestleMania. Then we got a women's segment. Nia Jax cursed right out the gate. It was silly. They set up a number one contender fatal four-way match for Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton came out, cut a good promo after an amazing cash-in. Her cash-in was great. One of my favorites of all time. She is supposed to be a heel, but them fans they're not gonna boo her. So they treat her like a babyface. Bayley won the little fatal four-way match, and I don't think it was intended to be like a Royal Rumble build up segment, but the 4 women brawling kind of did, just, like, it got me hyped for the Rumble, like the Women's Royal Rumble. The match wasn't amazing or anything, but you know, it was fun stuff, I guess. Bayley won. She's gonna face Tiffany Stratton next week for the women's championship. Awesome. I would kind of think it would have been cooler if we just had that match take place at, like I said, Saturday Night's Main Event or Royal Rumble. Not sure the direction we're going for either of those. I don't know what Tiff is doing, because I think we need Tiff versus Candice, and then we need Tiff versus Nia. Maybe we get Tiff versus Candice at Saturday Night's Main Event. Tiff versus Nia Jax at Royal Rumble, maybe. I'm not sure. Joe and Wade confirmed that the rematch clause is no longer a thing, a stipulation thing. So Nia Jax isn't getting her win back, or her match, at least. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that. I like the rematch clause. I don't know. But, I mean, that's been in act for a while, but I just took note of it, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. That's not a thing. That's something. They teased Naomi and Bianca, you know, they teased them having beef a little, not beef, but they teased a little thing, and it's definitely going to lead up to the whole Jade Cargill getting attacked storyline. Not really sure where that is going to go. I don't know. Obviously, the attacker of Jade Cargill is either Bianca Belair or Naomi. I'm not sure which it'll be. I'm not sure they know which it'll be either, but I'm assuming we'll get the reveal before WrestleMania, because I think the match will happen there. The big match. Not sure. I think it'd be cooler if it was Bianca versus Jade. I think Bianca being the attacker would be that'd be cooler. But I could see it being Naomi, because she needs that push, and her as a heel is pretty good. I fear that Naomi's stuck in a mid-card spot, and I don't know what it'll take to get her into the main event scene for the women. Because although she has main event matches, you already know she's never winning them. You know, anytime she's in one, you know, like, she's not winning the big one. She's not, and that's a bummer. It's a bummer. But maybe she'll win a Money in the Bank next year or whatever. I don't know. I fear Naomi's stuck. I hope they break her out of there with this Jade Cargill mystery story plot. Yeah, there was a point where Tiffany Stratton hit this really nice moonsault onto everybody, and it was fun. I liked it. I was like, that's cool. Yeah, Candice, she did get involved in the Fatal 4-Way. Not sure where does she fit in the story, I don't know. Wouldn't a Candice LeRae Royal Rumble win be something? That's not going to happen, but it'd be cool. I actually don't know who's winning the Women's Rumble. This is like, I have no clue, because it's down to like, I have like Charlotte, Becky, Nia Jax, Bianca, or Io Sky. It's one of them. But I don't know which one at all. We could probably count out Nia Jax. Probably won't be Bianca. She's doing her other stuff with Naomi and Jade. That leaves Io, Becky, and Charlotte. Don't think it'll be Becky. I don't really think it'll be Io. And I don't want Charlotte to win. I will not be happy. I'll be like... Because you know how many times she just comes in and gets opportunities? It's kind of like, okay. But I get it. She ain't been there in a while, whatever. Charlotte versus Tiffany at WrestleMania is obviously a good direction. I don't know, but I don't want it. I don't want Charlotte to win. I just don't. I want her to come back, and I want her to face Tiffany, but I don't want her to do it through winning the Royal Rumble. Because I don't know who's going to face Rhea. I think let's set up Rhea's title match through the Rumble. Because I don't know who it's going to be. Io, is it going to be Bianca? I don't know. I'm excited to find out. Hopefully not live again and again and again and again and again and again. So yeah, Bayley's facing Tiffany next week. Before the main event match, you know, the tag team one. Carmelo Hayes had a segment with Jimmy Uso. I love Melo. I want him to have more chances. I don't know when his opportunity is at all the call-ups. Lyra got the Women's Intercontinental. Braun is the Intercontinental. Everybody, all these call-ups are getting pushed. Gunther got called up. He's Intercontinental and now the World Champion. Where's good old Melo Hayes? Where's his push? You know, I don't know. I feel like once Roxanne Perez comes to the main roster, she'll probably get pushed before Carmelo Hayes, and I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. But I kind of am excited to see if Melo feuds with the whole of the OG bloodline, like the Usos, Roman. Carmelo Hayes versus Roman could be a great match if you let it. So yeah, he had a segment with Jimmy Uso. You know, cool stuff. I can't wait for that. If that happens, I'm sure it will. I hope maybe next week. Let's set up Melo versus Jiminy. That'll be great. So it's Cody Rhodey and Jiminy versus the Bloodline. That's a pretty good match. Only 2 good matches tonight. Let's be real. SmackDown was something was missing. Very underwhelming episode. I wanted new things to take away from the episode, but the stories just didn't really deliver or add anything new to any stories or angles. I don't know. It was really just there was a lack of something, and I don't know. Their tag team division or women's division. They don't make me care. During the women's hype up stuff with the Fatal 4-Way, there was a point where I was like, okay, all of a sudden I kind of do. I'm interested. But the tag team division nor the women's division get me I don't feel anything. And that's because it feels like only recently has WWE started even caring about them. It's just kind of there's a lack of interest. They don't have enough going on. And it's not handled with any love or care. I don't know. And I don't like the dumb logos in the ring. Get Fortnite out of there. What? Anywho, back to the main event. I sidetracked with my own self. Get this train back on the rails. Jacob Fatu is a legend in the making. He's very, very good. We already know this. Bloodline win. Because Jimmy's left all alone after Cody Rhodey goes and brawls with Kevin Owens, not Cody Owens, Kevin Owens KO. They brawl, they end the show, they close the show with a big old table spot where they both jump into it. Pretty cool. Got me hyped for the Rumble, obviously. I keep saying it, and I'll keep saying it until the Royal Rumble comes to a close. And that podcast, this episode is going to be something, because I'm going to talk your ears off about Royal Rumble, boy. You better hope you like listening to my beautiful voice, because it's going to be on and on when it's Rumble time. When it's getting closer, boy, oh boy. Yeah, the Bloodline match, it was, aside from the main event, the Motor City Machine Gun was the only good match. And the Bloodline match wasn't even that great. Bloodline versus Cody and Jimmy, that wasn't even that great. Jimmy's left alone, so they, Jacob Fatu, boom, boom, boom. Good stuff. There's still only 3 matches confirmed for both Royal Rumble and Saturday Night Main Event. 3 matches combined for both of them. And not a single one for Saturday Night's Main Event. We got 3 confirmed. We got the Women's Rumble, the Men's Rumble, and Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. And then Saturday Night's Main Event has no matches yet. I don't like the PLE setups. I don't like the way I don't like the format of the 5-match format. I don't like it. They're like, well, yeah, but quality over quantity. Yeah, but I want quantity. I want both. Let's be real. I want both. I don't want to pay. Say I'm going to a show. I went to Bad Blood. I'm about to rant. There was no reason for Gunther versus Sammy not to happen on that show. There was absolutely no reason for that. To what? Set up a potential between Gunther versus Goldberg? I don't want that in the first place. Second, there was absolutely... I was so mad. I was so angry when they were like, you know what? Adam Pearce comes out. He's like, I'm going to set up Sami Zayn versus Gunther. I was like, yes, next week. I'm like, bro, are you joking? Like, it's 5 matches for... You pay a lot more than you used to, by the way. You pay a whole bunch of money to go to a show with 5 matches. Get out of here, you cheap. I don't like them. I don't like these PLE formats. Give me more. Take my time to watch your show and you give me 5 freaking matches. Come on. Half of it's dang video packages. Get out of here. I'm tired of it. Throw it away. Sorry. I don't like 5 matches. I want 7. Yep. Underwhelming episode, like I said. This is a hot take, but I don't really like the referees' new shirts. I miss the stripes. Bring them back. They're not going to bring them back. It does have more of a sporty feel. It's more sports adjacent. But, you know, I don't care. I like it traditional, you know. I like the black and white stripes. I don't want blue collared shirts. I'm not a big fan. Whatever. SmackDown, they advertised the Traders and shouted out Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I thought that was silly because those 2 of my interests. I love the Traders and I love Hamilton. Good shout outs. Thank you. Yeah, I fuck with them. That was fun. A lot of missing talent, you know, unused talents. There's a lot of people who are on the roster that aren't really getting opportunities to do anything. One example, Giovanni Vinci. Where is he? What's he doing? Put him on TV. Give him another match, a real match with Apollo Crews. We haven't gotten one yet. I don't know. Yeah. So, not sure what's going to happen with Roman after the Rumble. Not sure where we're going with Punk, Seth, Drew. I don't know where we're going with any of these people. John Cena. We know Braun Breaker and Sheamus is being set up. We know Jade Cargill's little storyline. Let's see. To wrap things up, what other storylines are there ongoing? I mean, Cody and Kevin, you know. Randy Orton is probably going to come back eventually. Rhea and Liv just wrapped up. We still have Damian and Finn that's going on. That New Day is rivaling LWO at the moment. Yeah, man. Storylines, man. Awesome. Well, I thank you guys sincerely if you tuned in. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and come back next time. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. This has been Chizzle's Championship Podcast. And, well, that's it.